Being a mum and entrepreneur is not easy. So if you're an entrepreneur mum and you work from home and you're trying to manage being a mum while also having a business, this video is for you. Hey, I'm Lauren Keys, and on this channel, I help creative entrepreneurs build the courage and confidence to make their business dreams a reality. Now, first things first, I want you to know this. Your dreams are important. Your dreams matter. I totally understand how we can get so lost in motherhood where we are just constantly caring for others, thinking about other people's needs. We're worried about the cooking, the cleaning, etc. And then we forget about ourselves. We forget about the things that matter to us. And I share everything from a place of lived in experience because I know exactly what it's like, being a very driven, ambitious woman with big dreams, big goals, and then having a kid and seeing what actually happens is like, I wish more people would talk about this and would share this knowledge. So I really hope that with what I'm about to share with you, it's really relatable in some way, shape, or form. Now, the first tip that I want to share with you is all about creating dedicated time for your business. This means setting aside a certain day or a certain time during the day for you to work on your business. Now, when you have kids, it is a lot more challenging because you've got to work around them. It's not like you can just be like, when you were childless, it's like, I'm just going to go do this thing now. I'm just going to do that thing now. Like, it's changed forever. So it's really important that you understand how important it is to actually be blocking out time in your calendar for you to work on your business. Now, whether that is 2 hours a week, 2 hours a day, one full day, that's something that you will have to work around and figure out for yourself. But what's important here is that you are blocking out time dedicated specifically for you to work on your business. Trying to work with the kids around you and trying to fit in stuff, like this was literally me. Like any spare time, any moment I would get, when my daughter was like happily watching TV or playing or whatever, I would grab the laptop and I would try and work. And it was the most frustrating thing ever because I wasn't focused, and if I got interrupted, I would just get like really angry and frustrated. And I did that for a very long time, and I just got to a point where it was like, I just can't do this anymore. And so I realized how important it is to create that time, find that time, even if it's half an hour a day, whether it's, like I said, 2 hours a week, whatever. Start small and build it up over time. So what I did was I started off with just having Mondays. Yeah, it was just Mondays purely to myself. The whole Monday I'd have to myself. I would take my daughter to my parents' house and I would just get into creating, planning, doing whatever I needed to do. That then turned into on a Thursday for a few hours, I also take my daughter there. And then every Saturday morning from about 7 to 12 p.m., that is strictly my time. I'm literally here in my office. That door is closed and it's like, pretend I'm not here. No one opens the door. No one's, you know what I mean? It's like dedicated time. And it was my coach that actually said to me, she was like, Lauren, it's actually non-negotiable. Like, if you're going to take your business seriously, you need to create that time. You need to somehow create that time, get the support you need so you can focus purely on your business. Creating that routine and that consistency in your business is going to be key when you have kids. There's no point trying to, fit in little bits and pieces here and there, whenever you can. It's like, you've got to solidify it and really just say, this is how it's going to be. And communicating that with your partner, your husband, it's really important that you let them know how important this is to you and that, either way, you are doing this, right? Which then leads me into tip number 2, and that is getting the support. This means going out there and getting that support, looking for that support, whether it's hiring a nanny just for 2 hours a week, right? 2 hours a week of hiring a nanny might be somewhere along the lines, I think it's between $20 to $30 an hour. So you're looking at $50, $60 for 2 hours of the week where your child is getting looked after by the nanny and you can really get into your work. Do you see how it's just, you're starting in small steps like that? Or maybe you have an auntie and uncle or your parents, grandparents that have a spare few hours during the week where you can take the kids and they can look after them for you, and then you go and do what you need to do. There are so many ways to work around this. I know there are a lot of gyms that have creches where, and this is what I did. So the gym around the corner from me, I didn't even know they had a creche there. So I started going to this gym, not even using the gym, but they had a beautiful cafe there, and I sit at the cafe there while my daughter goes to the creche there for 2 hours. That's another 2 hours during the week that I get to do some work. Another way you could go about this is actually communicating with your partner, with your husband, that you really would like half an hour when they finish work to just, plan your week out or, do something there. So there's a lot of communication that needs to happen here. So in my relationship with my husband, we had this issue. I was just always angry and frustrated because I had all these things I wanted to work on in my business, but I didn't have the time because I was primarily looking after my daughter while he went to work. And so it started to build up over time, and he noticed like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with Lauren? Like, why is she so aggro and angry all the time? And then one day it just all blew up. It came out and it was like, this is really important to me. My work is really important to me. I enjoy it. I have so much fun. And I have all these ideas and things I want to work on, and I don't have that extra time. It just seems like there's so much going on. And when I voiced that to him, he actually suggested, he said, hey, well, how about, during the week when he finishes work at about 5:30 for 2 hours, he would look after my daughter where I could just come into the office here and do my thing. So that meant me preparing dinner and preparing dinner early, getting all the food ready and prepared, and then he would come in and look after her. And that was a game changer. Like, that's all I needed, was just to communicate with my husband, let him know what was going on there. Now things have changed since then because my husband is actually starting his own company. Super proud of him. So at the moment, I'm not actually getting that 2 hours during the week when he finishes because he's got a lot of stuff going on. But that's okay because I know how to manage my time wisely, such as today. It's a Monday here. I've got the whole entire Monday to myself, and I'm very clear on what I'm doing today. So this is really about getting that support. So whether it's a nanny, whether you have a family member that can mind the kids for a few hours during the week, whether your husband, your partner can sort of come in when they can, it's really important that you seek that support, because it is so important that you have some time where you can just focus on your work without any distractions. And guys, if you're getting value from this video, hit that like button and subscribe. And guys, the next tip I want to get into is focus. This is absolute focus. So when you finally have some sort of plan in place of the days or times that you are going to dedicate and commit to your work, you need to be really clear on what you are going to be accomplishing and doing in that time. Let's just say you have 1 hour. You need to be very intentional and deliberate with that hour. What are you going to do? Okay, and you focus on that. You get clear on what is going to get accomplished. And something that I love about working with shorter time frames is when you know you've only got like an hour or 2 hours to do something, it's like everything goes into that, your head down, and you are just working at it. You are creating or filming or recording or doing whatever it is, because you know you have a limited time. I find when I've got very limited time, I get so much more stuff done. So in a sense there, having my daughter and knowing the limited time frame that I have to work with has actually been a blessing, because prior to having her, I would literally spend the whole day fumbling around, wasting so much time. I look back to, before I had her, and I'm like, what did I even do with myself? I had the whole day because, I had quit my job and, I was working in my online business, but I could have got so much more done. But because I had so much time to waste, I was just like off over here, going and getting coffee, watching this YouTube video. I was all over the place. So working with a limited time frame is actually really powerful. And then the last tip that I want to share with you is to be kind, compassionate, and just loving to yourself, because the reality of it is you have kids and life happens, and sometimes you will plan to, complete all this work in a certain time frame and it just doesn't happen. And that's okay. Like I said before, having a business and being a mum, it's not an easy task. It's something that you go through and you learn what works for you, and you really have to be kind to yourself in a sense where it's like, okay, I did the best I could do in that time. Everything's going to be okay. And the reason why I share that is because I can get really, really hard on myself where it's like, I thought I was going to do the thing. I thought I was going to complete it. I thought I was going to finish it. And it's like, I didn't. And now I've come to a point where it's like, yeah, but it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world, right? So I believe that probably the most important thing that you can take away from this video is creating that time and space that is dedicated to your business. I truly do believe if you want to take your business seriously, you literally have to put in the time. You have to dedicate time for your business. It's a non-negotiable. If you want to continue going down that path of working in little bits of, when you can, and then you get distracted, and then you've got to go over there and get, your kids, whatever it is, a drink. You know how it is. It's constant, like, oh, change the channel, or what's this, mummy, or this, or I'm hungry. You're constantly getting distracted, and going down that path is really just going to cause a lot of frustration, and sometimes even start to get really narky towards your kids, because you feel like, oh my gosh, they're just they're annoying me almost. But it's like, no, you need to set up dedicated time for this. Don't work in front of the kids. It's as simple as that. And what I've shared with you today is not only just for entrepreneurial mums, stay-at-home mums. This applies to even if you're still working at a 9-to-5, you're still working at a job and you want to have your own business, these principles still apply to you. Like, you've got to create that time and space to work on your business. Put it in your calendar, put it in your diary. Whether you work on your business before you go to work, on your lunch break, after work, there's got to be time there dedicated to it. So what I did when I was working at the airport there, I was like, any spare moment I had, I was working on my business. I was planning things. I was setting up things, on my lunch break. I'd be in the lunchroom there. Other people would be, gossiping or wasting time scrolling Facebook and Instagram. And I was like, oh my gosh, hell no. I am getting out of this place. So what's next? What do I need to do next? What do I need to set up next? And I was just always using my time very, very wisely. So this applies to pretty much everyone, not just stay-at-home mums and entrepreneur mums. Now guys, this video is a part of my Massive Clarity and Focus video series. You can watch the other videos here, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more of this.